Good afternoon. Well, it's not afternoon, it's noon. Welcome to the show. Let's get started here. All right, welcome to the show. Hopefully, everybody can see everything. Am I in there? Am I in the frames? I guess. Let's see. Let's see how we looking. All right. Well, let's get the camera up a little bit so you can see my beautiful face. Maybe not that high. Let's try this. All right. There we go. Nope, that's not good. Oh, we're frozen. There we go. All right, now that's better. All right, hopefully everybody can see me. Today we're going to be making some homemade mac and cheese. Homemade mac and cheese, great for a day like today. It's 55 degrees for a high today, I believe, here in Western New York. So if you're somewhere else and you're enjoying warm weather, you know, I'm kind of jealous. So, but homemade mac and cheese is delicious. Uh, you know, what I'm doing here today is very simple. It's not it doesn't take a whole lot. All it takes is having the ingredients. So let's get rock and roll and let's have some fun. All right, we're gonna see if we can get this down here, and hopefully you guys, I'm gonna try to keep you guys on YouTube a little bit more active today. We're gonna see if we can get you into the program, so to speak. Um, I need to get more equipment, more fun, more all that other stuff. So let's see if we can. Let's come over here. We're gonna do a little different today. All right. Let's see if we can get a different angle. All right. Well, obviously, if we're going mac and cheese, you have to have some macaroni noodles. That's a pound. I'm doing everything about a pound today. Um, if you want to go last, you only have a couple people in your family. It's great. My kids, they're gonna probably eat this. I probably should have went even double what this is. They're gonna devour it. But 4 cups of cheddar cheese shredded, about 4 ounces of cream cheese, um, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, some salt and pepper, 4 ounces. Of uh, butter, and then we have some ground garlic, some ground mustard, some paprika, and some powdered onion. It's pretty simple. We're just gonna put this together and all that. First thing we got to do though is we got to get our pasta into our boiling water. Now, I started this already. You typically want to go about a gallon of water for a for about a pound of pasta. So if you're doing 2 pounds, you want to go 2 gallons. You can never have enough, really. So I would always err on the caution of going a little bit more. Obviously, if you're making huge batch, you got to have a huge pot. So, but here we are. I got this going. Now I put in salt in the water, and what that does is that raises the boiling point of the water. The boiling point of the water um, is important because it helps the absorption of water into the pasta and makes it cook better and ends up being the right texture the exact texture that you want for your cooking and all that. So see if we can make sure you're in the zone here. All right. So now I'm going to come over here and adjust this a little bit. We're going to start making a roux. All right. So I'm going to put the flame on. I'm going to take our butter and I'm going to put that into our pan. We're going to just get that melted. We do not want to bring it really to a boil because we want to basically kind of make the flour get activated. If you start to get it into a boil, smoke point, it's gonna change the texture, brown butter kind of thing. But we just want to make sure that we get it cleaned up. I could have cut this into chunks to make it go a little quicker, but we're not in any rush today. Now the cool thing with a mac and cheese, and I'm sure you've been restaurants around where they're going to realistically they'll add a bunch of stuff to it. How many? I know. You can. everybody loves some bacon, so why not put some bacon in there? Ground beef, like a complete hamburger helper type of thing, obviously, you can put some chicken. Heck, if you wanted to put some pork, you could. Um, steak pieces, that would be fantastic. But there's other things, lobster. You can go with like a crab, uh, and that would be nice to enhance the flavor a little bit, change it up. And this is all stuff you could do a little bar. If you had like a warmer, you could put mac and cheese in there, nice and warm, and then have like some ingredients around, so you could people could mix and match for a party, and that would be fantastic. You can oh, I want to put some crab in there, and then of course vegetables, the classics, peas and carrots, diced up nice, nice and small. I can't imagine much that wouldn't go with this. If you want to, if it goes with cheddar cheese, you pretty much can put it in there, because this is pretty much what this is. As far as any other flavor profiles, there's not a whole lot in this. So obviously, if you're doing something off the wall, you're going to want to season it differently, if needed, and then you kind of want to do that kind of whole roll. So as you can see, the butter is melted, and then we just have a nice creamy. Just let that go a little bit. We'll get that a little bit warmer. While that's going on, remember to keep stirring your pasta, because you don't want it to stick in the bottom. You want it to get in there. Now, you'll often hear me say about when you're cooking that too many people want to cook things at super high heat and get it done really fast, and that's typically that's the incorrect method. So when you're cooking pasta, though, you want to crank the heat up. You want to get it really blasting, so it gets to as high a temperature as possible. That way, the moisture, the water absorption into the pasta is going to be a little bit speedier and make your pasta a little nicer. All right. So now we've got our butter melted, and it's definitely up to a temperature. Now we're going to take our flour and add that to our butter, and we're going to get that mixed together. Now that your roux is starting to come together, and it's being activated. When you start to smell like a nutty kind of like a roasted nut kind of smell out of your roux, that way that you're starting to cook things. You can see that that my roux has combined together, and it's definitely gotten thick. I actually prefer, when I'm doing any cooking, to have a little thinner roux. That way, it's a little easier to work with. It blends in a little easier. But this is about the standard. So, yeah, and you can smell the flour starting to cook. So that's good. Now, on top of that, we're going to put our seasoning in there. We're going to let our seasoning get kind of activate himself also. Get that, some of the oils that come out of the garlic and the onion, paprika, and all right. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is we will definitely need some milk. And it's 4 cups of milk. Let's see if I can locate my... There we go. 4 cups of milk to 4 cups of cheese. One. Now, anybody's been a fan of the show, they know that you probably haven't seen me do too much in the way of uh, of measuring, but something like this cheese sauce, is good to measure because you kind of need the correct ingredients. Now, doesn't mean that I can't get in here and find that uh, I need some more. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let this heat up, and I'm going to keep on stirring it, and hopefully we're going to get the roux to blend in nicely before we start adding in too much of the cheese. I could put some cheese in now, but I like to get the milk a little bit warmer before we start adding in cheese. And if you have a whisk or whatnot, you can do that. Unfortunately, I'm using a Teflon pan, and I only have a metal whisk, so I don't want to bring that out. It'll really hack up the Teflon coating. Not that this pan is probably about the end of its life, anyways. But you can see our pasta is already starting to blow up. It's starting to become a little more of the whitish color that you expect. Almost slightly translucent. Opaque, or I guess you would say, not translucent. I don't know what I'm talking about, but if you know what I'm talking about, drop something in there. Hopefully nobody's got any questions. That's going along nicely. The roux is definitely starting to blend in nice. All right, let's start adding our cheese in here. And we'll get this. Now, we're using some Parmesan cheese here today. And some of the, as I've mentioned before, Parmesan cheese typically has a lot of cellulose in it, and there's very few Parmesan cheeses on the market today. You go to the grocery store; it's very hard to find a Parmesan cheese that doesn't have cellulose in it as an anti-caking agent. Well, cellulose is literally sawdust. Well, one of the problems with Parmesan cheese is that if you try to put it in a sauce and you do not cook it long enough, it will stay granular. So you'll actually have like a grainy texture. So you got to make sure that this Parmesan cheese, it definitely gets cooked in enough in order to get rid of that. So if you don't cook it long enough, might as well start all over again. No, definitely cook it. Now, one thing I didn't mention about this recipe that we're using here is that if you want, we're not going to bake it, but if you wanted to bake it, you could bake this, and then basically I would just put this into an oven-safe dish, and then sprinkle on top of it maybe a little some breadcrumbs with maybe some seasoning in it. They have the ones with the Italian seasoning. You could do that, or you could just some straight up breadcrumbs. Bake it until your crust, your top is golden brown. Delicious, kind of snazzy. My kids, they won't appreciate the being baked and all that. So one thing I had thought about doing was making a really large batch of this, and you could, after doing this, you could put this whole thing into a crock pot and let it sit all day, and that'd be great game day party. People can dip in and grab themselves a bowl whenever they want to. You can see that everything's starting to melt together. It's coming together nicely. And you see this was very simple. There's no real difficulty in this at all. Everything's starting to come together. Add a little bit of salt and pepper in there, and it was. Creamy. Very nice. Let's check out our pasta. Looking very good. See if the pasta's done. Now, when I was saying that to put some salt in the water, I never finished and didn't tell you exactly how much salt you need. Well, it depends on how much water you're using. Now, I was taught that the amount of salt that you need to put into the water, your water for boiling pasta should be as salty as seawater. Now, I've come across some people who said, "Well, I've never been in the ocean." Well, time for you to get a life, get out of town, and go do see what it's like to experience things. Go do things, But yeah, hopefully everybody knows about how salty seawater really is. This sauce is pretty much done. You can see there's a couple of chunks of cream cheese still lingering on, but it's hot. It's creamy. It's not stringy. Now, unfortunately, if you let this sit, you make this and then you put a bunch of this macaroni and cheese in the refrigerator, you're going to have like a super tight group of it. It's going to turn into a block of mac and cheese, which could be good for certain things. Deep fried, breaded macaroni balls, that would be great for that. But if you want to eat it again, if you want to have some more mac and cheese, what I would suggest is that you add some heavy cream. And then either microwave it or heat it up in a pan and go that route. And that'll reconstitute it pretty easily. I'm just draining the pasta, draining our macaroni noodles. You don't have to worry about getting every last stitch of moisture out. All right, so there we go. Now we're just going to add this into our pasta. Now this might be more than we need, but so I can take this cheese sauce and I can make some broccoli. Perfect. I can make some broccoli. I could do a delicious dip out of it. Maybe add a little beer to it. Do the old Welsh rarebit type thing. Oh my goodness. Smoking hot and delicious. Look at that, my friends. Mm. Can you see that? Ooh, that is delicious. Hopefully, can you? Ooh, can't really see it too well on but that's perfect. I'll grab a spoon. I don't know if you eat your mac and cheese with a spoon or with a fork, but oh, it's hot. I'm worried. I'm gonna burn myself. Mm. Whew. Mm. Delicious. Ooh, very hot. Oh my goodness. Mm. Wow, that's great. Nice and rich, nice and creamy. You know, we can, if I wanted to, I could take that and put that uh, into a microwave safe dish or an oven safe dish and put it in the oven. I can save that for later. You know, do something with it as far as all that goes. But that's it. You know, that is it. That's homemade mac and cheese. You can't get easier than that. You know, you can experiment. You can go add some different cheeses in it. Make sure if you're going to put a different cheese in, you want to use a cheese that has a similar melting point as a cheddar. You know, like a Gruyere or something like that. Something that's going to melt easily. You know, if you pick something that doesn't melt so easily, it can have some problems. Make sure that you're not putting too much Parmesan cheese in there. You don't want it gristly. You don't want it like sandpaper-ish. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy, eating mac and cheese because who doesn't? Mac and cheese is awesome. There goes my keto diet. Um, but as always, go to piperseats.com. Check out the website. Leave your email address for the PDF cookbook. We're trying to set it up. The website is changing all the time. We got the beautiful, the amazing Allison who was kicking ass, making improvements to the website. Hopefully, she's gonna make it 10 times better, and you guys are gonna enjoy it. And we're always making improvements. Allison is kicking ass, and she's worth every penny. So if you have IT problems, I'll hook you up with her. She can, pay her. It's worth your time. Other than that, go to the podcast. Check out the podcast. You got to go to the podcast. It's the Get What You Want podcast. It's on Apple, Stitcher, iTunes, all that, whatever, wherever you listen to podcasts. I say it every week, but it is the podcast you need to listen to. And go there, listen, leave a review, let everybody know that it's awesome. If you like it, share it with other people. I don't advertise, I don't do anything like that. It's all word of mouth. So if you like the podcast, tell others so they can listen and get value from it too. All right, my friends, have an awesome day and get after it. And I hope you enjoyed the show, everybody on YouTube. All right.